my lovelies. So I know I don't usually talk during an eating video, but there's something important I wanted to talk about because it's something that is affecting me right now. And it's the highs that are associated with CPTSD. And there might be a lot of things you hear that sound like bipolar disorder because they share similar traits. But I promise you, I'm not bipolar. I've been tested several times for bipolar disorder. There's certain other things associated with bipolar disorder that I don't meet the criteria for. Even though 10 years ago I was convinced that I was bipolar, it just simply was not the case. Right now I'm going through the lows, which is why I haven't been posting as much. I posted that short the other day, and I know I did it wrong. I apologize for that. I wasn't really knowledgeable about how it was supposed to go. It was super fun, but I did it wrong. And somebody pointed out in the comments what exactly I did wrong, and I appreciate that comment because I really didn't know what I was doing wrong. And then my son pointed out the same thing, and I was like, oh gosh, okay. I'll try it again and do a little better now that, practice makes perfect. And so today I have some of my favorite chicken from that chicken place I got from before. It comes with coleslaw. This time I only got the snack size because I'm just not that hungry. And it's perfect. Plus I have this ginormous Ferrero Rocher ball that my husband got for me. I've never had one that big. I've had the little ones, and they're super delicious. I mean, who doesn't love Ferrero Rocher? I usually have them at like New Year's, and I'll create the little pyramid, and I'll make several of them around the house, and it's always a huge hit. Like, people love it. Like, well, when we could do little parties, we can't. It didn't happen this year. I still made a little pyramid, but it was just for me and mine. And I didn't even really enjoy it because I was sick. As many of you know, I had COVID. So, I mean, by the time New Year's, I'm starting to get my taste of stuff back. But it just didn't have that same flair, that same, because I only do it like once a year. And because I don't want to get like burnt out on Ferrero Rocher. I don't want to have it all the time because it won't seem as special. I'm weird, I know. So anyway, oops. Almost forgot. Cheers. This on my lip is kind of going to be tied into the story that I'm going to tell you because it has something to do with it. Now, 3 days ago, this looked so much worse. And I've been using, I can't think of what it's called. But it comes in a small little tube, and it's for cold sores. And I just had the name a minute ago, and now I can't think of it. It'll come to me probably while I'm editing this video, and I'll put it in text. But it helps cut down. But this isn't really a cold sore, but it still helps. I've been cleaning it with peroxide, because I have lupus and I don't heal like other people do. So I've been keeping it clean. I'm washing my face 3 times a day. I use Dial soap, and I just gently wash it. And then I put a little peroxide on it. And then I put the medication on it. It comes in a small tube. And it's helped a lot. But you see, my lip is still very swollen. But it's my own fault. I'll be honest. It's my own fault, and I'll tell you how in a minute. But I'm going to talk about the highs and lows, mostly the highs right now because it's not what I'm going through. So I feel like I can kind of address it with a more realistic view than if I was actually going through the highs of CPTSD. So it's kind of weird, when you think about it, how that works. When you're going through the lows, you can look at the highs more realistically. When you're going through the highs, you can look at the lows a little more realistically. But I'm actually kind of cycling back up to normal, which is why I could even do this video. But if you look in the back, that's kind of testament to what's been going on lately. That's my pillow and a sheet that I've been using to sleep on the couch because my insomnia is so bad. I haven't been going to sleep till about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You see, my husband, he has to be up at 6 every morning to go to work. So he can't have me in there with the phone on and him trying to sleep and me listening to videos or whatever I'm doing, watching Netflix, whatever it is I'm doing at like 2 o'clock in the morning, because he has to get his rest. Because the job that he does, if he's not alert, he could get very injured. And that's not what we want. That's not something I want for anyone. I don't want to be a cause of somebody's injury. So, anyway, the highs. For me, the highs can last anywhere from a week to a month. And it's like a constant adrenaline rush. Everything seems possible. Everything seems doable. I'm at my most creative. I have all these ideas, all these goals. I'm going to do all these things. And, you know, at the time I do them. I'm cleaning house. I'm like at the top of my game. Like I said once, you have the mentality of, ooh, what's next? What's next? What's next? And you're just inspired and creative and motivated. And in that moment you think, this is it. I'm going to get my life together and oh man. I'm going to do it all. And you can during that period. You have energy and stamina. Food tastes better. Everything looks better. You're riding that high. And it's great. But it doesn't last. And that's the sad thing about it. Yeah, if you could stay on that, we would be so creative. Such a creative group of people, right? And it kind of works the same for bipolar people from what I've understood. When they're on that high, oh man. They're some of the most creative people you ever met. But it doesn't last, and they know it's not going to last. So, the one thing about when you're on your high is that you're happy, like all the time. Or at least it seems that way. You could get along with anyone. I mean, anyone. You're the most agreeable and optimistic person out there. You're everybody's friend. I don't care how much of an introvert you are. All of a sudden, the extrovert comes out. And it's just like, wow. I have so much potential. And I'm not saying you don't. Don't get me wrong. Don't take this the wrong way. I'm not bashing on anyone. You do have potential. That's the thing. At that moment, you're tapping into your full potential. You are doing great. I'm not saying anything really bad about it. Yeah. You do have potential. But you also have an invisible illness that's going to come and take that away. It doesn't matter if you're drinking a gallon a day of water, if you're working out 2 hours every single day, if you're early to bed, early to rise. It doesn't matter. If you're vegan, if you're the hardest working little busy bee out there, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I know because I've been there. I've been out there in the workplace, getting up every morning at like 5 a.m. and packing my little lunch and going out there to work. I mean, I was productive. And I still went through the lows. And let me tell you something, that was hard. Get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and you just felt like, why? What's the point? Why do this? Why drag myself out there? Why am I even existing? It's hard. I'd go to work every morning just like on the verge of tears because I just felt awful. And I had a great job. I had a wonderful job. I'm not gonna lie. I loved my job. It was hard. It was great. And oh man, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but the benefits and the pay were worth it. One job I had where the benefits and pays were worth it. And it didn't help. I still went through the lows. And I've said before, I quit on my own, my own terms because we realized that something was wrong with Eli. And, that was becoming a problem. And we were starting to become aware that something wasn't quite right. We didn't know how not quite right it was at the time, but we knew something wasn't quite right. And, it's just one of those things that we had to make a quick decision. He was young, very young, barely a year. And the decision was I was going to stay home. Do I miss my job? Yeah. But in hindsight, it was the best decision. But at the same time, that can affect your highs and lows. Being out of the workplace has affected me. I'm not gonna lie, it has. But, what can you do? And I recently tried to find a part-time job a few months ago. And with Eli constantly getting strep, it was a no-go. Because I never knew what day I was going to have to stay home with him. And I knew that that wasn't fair to an employer who was depending on a good, reliable worker. It's not fair. They didn't discriminate against me. I had to pull out because we didn't realize he was going to start getting so sick. We've rescheduled his surgery and hopefully COVID won't stop that. But, until then, we never know. His adenoids aren't a proper size and it's causing fluid buildup, which causes colds. Anyway, I feel like somehow I've wandered off the topic. I mean, this is all tied together. And if you step back, and look at the puzzle from afar, you'll be able to see like, oh yeah, this led to that and that can affect your mental health. It's life. When you decide to have a family and stuff, this can happen. It's just called adulting. And, Anyway, moving on from that. This right here. Oh my gosh. So the other night, no, not the other night, it's been about 3 nights ago. I was on the couch having another rough night. And I've said before, like, I have scars on my lips. My lips are scarred up. And I'm self-conscious about that. This is why. This is why my lips are scarred up. I was watching Netflix on my phone. It was about 2 a.m. And apparently, I was chewing on my lip. And during the movie, there was a jump scare. And I flinched. And when I flinched, I bit down. And when I bit down, I bit into my lip. My teeth are fairly sharp. I tell people I have fangs. I'm part of the fang gang. Just something that naturally happened. And I felt it when it happened. It was like a burst of pain, like burning sensation. And then I felt something trickle down my chin. And I was like, oh, no. So, I put my phone down and ran to the bathroom. I had my, my chin like this. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh, man. So I grabbed a clean bar of soap from our pantry and opened it up and lathered it up and cleaned it, washed everything off, still had my hand like this, washed, made sure I was very gentle. But I already knew it was going to swell. I could tell. It was already swelling. And I was just gently washing it and, applying water, warm water. And I got everything cleaned. And then I applied peroxide. Abreva, that's what it's called, Abreva. See, I knew it would come to me. I didn't have any Abreva right then because I didn't plan for this. So, even though I don't go out a lot when I'm going through my lows, I hardly ever go out when I'm going through a low period. I made myself go to my local Walmart and I bought some Abreva. It's just a little tube, about $14, $15. But boy, does it help. It stings. Whew. Oh, it burns. But it helps. And the next day I started applying Abreva. About twice a day. So, that's something that I do when I'm going through my lows. I'll bite my lips. Just horribly. And usually, I'll do something and I'll end up breaking the skin. And then there it goes. And I contemplated not doing this video. Because although, it doesn't look as bad as it could have, it was really swollen. Like all the way out to here. And like around here and just, it's still kind of swollen. I know how people can be on the internet. And I was like, you're going to get trolled. You're going to get trolled. You're going to get trolled. But then I'm like, there's also a mental wellness channel. And mental wellness goes with physical wellness and all that good stuff. And I'm human. I get sick. I make mistakes. I don't always look my best. I don't think I look great now. I think I look frumpy, but that's me. I've never been an incredibly girly girl. I like makeup. I just don't wear a lot of it. I just never looked in the mirror and saw a girly girl. Maybe that has something to do with me being bi. I have no clue. As I've seen some bi girls who are incredibly girly girl, as I call it. I'm not one of them. You know, how's my table? I'm trying to move my leg. You know, I'm not gross either. I'm not like a pig or anything, but you know, I'm just kind of average. I'll go camping. I love to camp. I also like to paint my nails, so that's kind of... I play video games. But I also like to wear makeup on occasion. I'll go outside and kick a soccer ball around with my daughter. But I also like to wear perfume. So, I don't know. I'm a mixed bag of both. I guess it's a good thing my husband's okay with that. He knew what he was getting into. I was honest when I met him. I was like, look, I'm not a girly girl. And he's like, it's fine with me. He's like, do you cheat? I was like, no. He's like, then we're good. That's not all it took. I joke around a little bit. Please don't think I'm being serious about that. That's not all it took. We dated for ever and were engaged forever before we finally said, I do. I'd been through a divorce. I didn't want to rush. But anyway, I'm getting off topic again. And this is part of me cycling back up. I'll be normal and I'll talk about what normal means in another video. And then all of a sudden I'll cycle up through my highs. And that's what I was talking about. You know, that feeling of inspiration. Almost like euphoria. It's very euphoric. Anybody else out there struggle with these sort of things? I'd like to know how you manage the ups and downs. Comment below and let me know. Or, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. So I can tell this video's gone a little long. So I'm going to quickly open this bad boy that's been sitting here. Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know this. Okay. Let me show you what's inside it. No way. I did not know that. I've never had one of these giant ones. All I've had is like these size. So, oh my gosh, that's so good. Alright, well, that's where I'm going to end it. Sorry I didn't get to go a little more into this. But let me know in the comments below if you have an invisible illness that comes with highs and lows. You know, like emotional highs and lows. And how you deal with it, or if you have any questions. Alright, much love. Bye.